All right, welcome back to our coverage of the Cherry Blossom Bonspiel here at the Potomac Curling Club. This is draw 13. So in this draw, we've got C event games going on. I think they're C event quarterfinals, and our feature sheet is Black versus, excuse me, 1 second, Stupera, I believe. I'm joined in the commentary box by Michael Sell.
Yes, hello.
And Melvin Shaw. I don't think we can hear you, Melvin.
How about that one?
There we go.
Ooh.
Hello, Melvin.
Hey.
So we have a full complement here this afternoon. We're just getting underway here in the first stand. We got Black throwing the red stones, Stupera on yellow, and it appears that Black has the hammer.
Howard with the little scene standing delivery.
Yeah, I noticed that he doesn't use the traditional stick aid.
Breaking all of the rules. That's what Howard's known for.
He actually, well, I didn't actually see his delivery, but he has recently switched to using an actual stick instead of his broom because he was having issues with handle, as you would, without actually being able to grip the stone.
Absolutely. So Howard's draw was into the top 12-foot area. So looks like we're going to see a takeout attempt.
Sweepers don't seem too worried.
No, looks like it's going to be right on the, almost on the nose. Just roll over a little bit.
Great shot.
So now we have Arthur Hewer throwing the second stones for Black. Looks like it's going to be return to favor, takeout.
Quite a big crowd in the warm room for this draw. We'd say about 400.
Oh, and I think this one's going early. I think he might have set it going with his hand. And that is going to go all the way by. No weight on that either. Only just through the back of the house there. So
Yeah, his sponsors at Levi's are not going to be happy with that.
That's right. They're going to be reconsidering their deal. So chance to just split the rings here, I think, for Stupera. Now, Melvin, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't Stupera the name of a talented junior team on the East Coast?
Yes, Andrew Stupera, recently at Junior Worlds.
And so are we thinking a relation here?
Yes, sure. Nephew, I believe.
Ah, so strong curling family.
Yes, also 2011 or 12, Bill Stupera, also relation, was the vice, I believe, on Team McCormick, the national champion.
That's correct. That's Andrew's dad.
Ah.
Yeah.
So definitely a strong curler family. So here's Arthur here with a second takeout attempt. This one looks better. Oh, takes the outside one, rolls in. A nice shot there.
Yeah, a little overroll, but pretty good shot all the same.
Yeah, so there's a guard out front, so might see an attempt to hit and roll behind it here. It's not quite on the center. It's a little offset down to the 4-foot line, but so we have Nancy Worth here throwing the vice stones on Team Stupera. Sweeper's on it straight away.
It's pretty lightweight, but I think the sweepers are going to hold it.
Yeah, looks like. Are they going to tap it through? Yes, they are. Only just, though. So it's like just like a light hack there. But it did the job.
Yes, there used to be a hotkey to cut. F6. Oh, it's F6? Did it used to be F5? Yes. How did it change? I don't know. Okay.
The program still says F5. I don't know why it's F6.
So here's Harvey Chalmers trying to take it. This one looks like it's over curling. He's going to be right past it.
Yeah, you can see the disappointment in Howard's face. He knows he could do better.
Yeah. First end, you know, not yet. Got used to the game. So, looks like from the ice, I'm guessing it's going to be a draw attempt around the guard.
Yeah, I think the Schenectady lads and ladies see an opportunity here to force. Maybe even steal if they make a good one.
Yeah, still needs to curl over a bit here. Starting to move now, but never really got off the center line area.
No, it did seem to run a little straight, maybe more straight than they expected.
Yeah, nice weight, but it's going to be, they're both still wide open, so.
A good opportunity for redemption here, though, for Harvey.
A little bit of a stumble, but tries to stick with it. I think he might get the, well, I don't know, this is curling pretty hard.
Oh.
And he's, you know, he's not happy with that one, of course, but kind of lost his balance there. He just got roll onto the rings at least.
That shot perhaps brought to you by Lefroy Distilleries.
We're pulling out all the sponsors here this afternoon. We should start doing that. We should start having sponsorship ads.
I mean, I have a pretty low threshold of things I wouldn't talk about on the air. So yeah, I mean, if for a price, I will plug pretty much any product sitting here in this table.
Yeah, we should see what we can come up with. We should make some doodles and see if we come up with some good ones. So it looks like we're probably going to see a guard come here, guard the shot stone. It's in a really good spot now for a steal if they can guard it up. So he will leave probably a double chance though, regardless. But
He will. It's going to be a tough double and keep the shooter kind of situation. Not out of the question, but first step is getting a good guard in play here.
Yeah, this one looks like it's running into the rings. Right down to the other one. So there's a nose double pretty much. They should both go.
Yeah, definitely can get rid of those the two yellow rocks on the center line there. Should be no problem.
You think there's any triple chance there?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so. I was thinking she could hit the top one pretty thin and redirect the second one into the third one. I don't know if the angle's quite right.
Yeah, I think it might just go right over the top.
Yeah. But I don't think he's playing that. I think he's probably playing straight double.
Yeah, the double actually leaves will leave Bruce in a great spot. Should be able to stick for shot and have a third shot as well. So apply a little bit of pressure.
He's hanging a bit here.
Yeah, he got all of that one.
No, he'll just remove the one. And bit of a let-off for Stopera, who now gets another chance to guard that stone. And then it'll be really tough to score. So we have a request for the score on sheet D. Well, they're still in the first end at the moment, but we will keep you updated with the scores on all the sheets as we go through this draw. It is McNeil playing on sheet D.
Yeah, I've got all the matchups here. As requested, the game on sheet D, that's McNeil from Potomac versus Groombridge from the King Curling Club. Next to our featured sheet here over on sheet C, we have Arnold from the St. Paul Curling Club and Team Johnson, a team comprised of Potomac and Chesapeake members. And over on sheet A, we have Team Cato out of the Triangle Curling Club and Datlow from the Curling Club of Virginia and Potomac. So those are our 4 matchups we got going on, and we will keep you up to date on all the scores as they finish ends.
Sorry, did you say the Kings Curling Club on sheet A?
Sheet D.
Or sheet D, sorry.
Yes, but yeah, as far as I can tell, they're just called the King Curling Club or maybe Kings Curling Club.
I'm not familiar with that. We'll have to check, make sure that their paperwork is in order.
They have their permits. All right, so here's Bruce Black with his final stone, facing 3. He has to make a double on the nose here to score. And he needs to curl a lot. I think he's going to clip the top one. Well,
That's the other way.
Or you could do that. Sure.
So he's moved all 3 stones. I can't get the overhead camera view to tell what he's going to score. It looks like maybe he's going to score 1 there.
It was just 1. He got them all moving. Unfortunately, one of the yellows barely got out of the 8-foot. So with his second red, pretty close to the outside of the 12. But only a couple feet off.
Yeah, that was really close to making a 2 out of that.
So as they reset and start the next end, we'll go ahead and I'll just show you here. This is Team Black. Bruce Black the skip, Harvey Chalmers the vice, Arthur Hewer throwing second, and Howard Griffin here with his first lead stone of the second end.
And this one coming a little deeper than they like, I think. Just going to be back 4. And Stopera is going to go ahead and hit it rather than throwing a guard. He's happy to kind of keep it simple right now. Oh, nice solid hit there right on the nose.
So scores are starting to come in from other sheets. On sheet D, we have McNeil is throwing the yellow rocks and does have a 1 on his side of the scoreboard, so that is a 1-point lead for McNeil over Groombridge. We've also got a score on sheet C. It looks to be Team Johnson, the team from Potomac and Chesapeake, with a 1-point lead over Team Arnold from St. Paul. Sheet A still finishing their first end.
So swing and a miss there from Stopera. So chance for Bruce Black to split the rings here.
Sweeper is disinterested. I think the ice is starting to keen up quite a bit.
Yeah, this one really has to hit the brakes. And it's going to go straight through. Missed opportunity. So they're going to get another chance at this takeout.
Good opportunity to clean up. He's really running on that center line. Nancy just walks away in disgust.
Yeah, it looks like he pushed it out there a little bit and just stayed on that center line path. So it's just an identical situation 2 rocks ago. They'll try and draw and split the rings. This one looks a bit tighter for line. And definitely a lot less weight. Sweeper's working hard. And it's going to end up right about on the tee line. Really nice shot there.
Good adjustment, Arthur.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, really nice read by the sweepers there, too.
Yeah, great positioning. No double.
Yeah, they are absolutely flat. There's no chance. Even Kevin Cooey could do that one. Oh, I say that. I mean, anything's possible, but
That would be pretty hard.
yeah. Well, I think they're going to clip this red. Don't know if they're going to get it out of the rings, but they're going to roll out. So Bruce is probably going to continue splitting the rings here. Try and just get a force.
Yeah, the red rock on the side of the 8-foot there, not a great steel rock, I'd say. You'd be hesitant to guard it. Gives your opponent a good opportunity to come around the corner guard then and freeze to it. So I like the call. Split the house up.
Yeah, not the best setup for a steal, but a pretty good setup for the force. If you can get your rocks all across the house, the hammer team's not going to be able to clear the house. They're going to have to just put one in the middle for one. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your rooting interest in this game.
Yeah, it's just a slight overthrow and chance for the straight hit here, but really not a great chance to get 2 here either, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a blank happen this end if this continues. Absolutely no guards in play, just 1 rock in the house.
I've played at this club once or twice. I happen to know this line might curl quite a bit, so they're going to need to be careful.
Once or twice?
This week, yeah.
Well, this one does need to curl, throwing a little bit out there, and not going to come back in time.
No, I think Nancy just got a little wide.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. There's a lot of curl on these lines, but if you go really wide out to the edge of the 12-foot area, you're probably going to find a straight spot there. It's probably going to have a hard time curling back in. And she just got a little outside of the line there, I think. So another chance to split rings here for Harvey Chalmers. This one definitely looks like it's got less weight. Looks pretty nice. Really nice shot there.
We did get our score hung from sheet A. Their first end was 2 points for the team throwing the Yellow Rocks, which by my observation is the team from the Triangle Curling Club, the Cato rink. So that is Cato 2, Datlow 0 through 1.
So that's Nick Datlow, who was in a commentary box for us earlier today in the last draw. And out on the ice. Said it was his first time ever doing commentary. Hope he'll come back and do it again for us sometime. Meanwhile, back on our feature game. Swing and a miss there by Stopera, so advantage Black. So what's the call here, Melvin?
So you're actually running into a weird situation where you have too many rocks. Where's a good place to put a rock that doesn't leave an advantage to your opponent? You know, as we said, guarding rocks on the side of the 4 foot, you know, in the 8 foot, maybe not the best idea. Also, don't want to be, you know, heavy and kind of closer to one of those rocks. You end up leaving quite a big pocket and a couple places you might throw it. Right on the button. Never a bad spot.
Yeah. You think about you could throw, say, maybe top 8 center line as well?
Top 8 center line, again, not a bad spot. That way your opponent throws a takeout. They wouldn't be shot.
I think the call here was something like top 12 just left of center, but I'm not sure that's what they're going to get.
Yeah, Bruce is a little heavy. Both of these rocks are going to stick around, though.
Well, yep. So didn't really hurt anything there. Probably quite a good result, honestly.
Yeah, there's a very long double. If Jack is interested. I don't think he's going to go for the double. It looks like he's just motioning for the roll into the 4 foot.
Yeah, that one carrying all the way to the back, I don't want to say necessarily that it helped, but it certainly doesn't hurt because if you were to hit it or freeze on it, you're still not out counting those 2 rocks. So the fact that it's back there isn't a problem for the red here. But
yeah, I agree. It's a tough spot to draw to on purpose.
Yeah. Don't practice a lot of back 12 draws, really.
Yeah, back 12 draws, not.
Do it by accident all the time, but.
Yep. Yeah, just envision, drawing to the button, last end of a very important game, and I'll hit the back 12 more often than not.
So here's a takeout attempt. I like to roll in a bit towards the center and then hope for a mistake. Super's not touching this at all.
Looks like they're all over for some kind of contact, but not the one they want.
Oh, well, it actually makes the double. But shooter rolls out, so still a good chance to force for Bruce. I think he'll split the rings again. And then say, well, take one if you can. And if he puts this in the right spot, it's going to be a draw against 2. And although you have got the full 4 and half the 8 foot to work with, still not exactly the shot you want to be throwing.
No, still pretty early in the game, so may not have perfect feel. Although it does look like the ice is pretty keen.
Yeah, fresh off scrape just now. I have to give a shout out to the ice crew for turning that around in almost record time, I feel like.
Oh, yeah, the ice was ready announcement was made probably 15 minutes before the game was even scheduled to begin, and teams were raring to go, fresh off dinner. So,
yeah, admittedly, I thought that this draw started at 5:30, so we were really kind of rushing.
Oh, okay. Well, that's.
And then we got done about 5:35, and realized we were actually 10 minutes early.
Well, great work.
That said, I think the only person or people that wasn't ready for this draw was me. Getting here, getting the team names entered and cameras set up and everything, and then they were playing, and I had to turn things on and just start broadcasting.
So a mistake there by Bruce, drawing straight through the rings. Hasn't quite got his feel for the draw weight yet, which means that Jack can either blank this or take his 1 point, whichever he decides to do. I have to admit, when I play these, I make sure I'm hitting it first before I think about the blank. Looks like it's probably going to just nose it, take 1 point here.
Yeah, a little flop toward the outside, but not enough.
So after 2 ends, scores all tied. What other action do we have around the shed? Well, it looks like everyone's still finishing up their second end.
Everyone's still finishing their second. So like I did when we turned over from 1 to 2, as we go into 2 to 3, here is the team listing of the yellow team as they're about to throw. As we mentioned, Skip Jack Stapera of the mighty Stapera family. Their vice, Nancy Worth. Their second, Chrissy Hall. And the lead in the hack now, Fred McIntosh.
Got to say, as much as I'm humbled and honored to be with you fine gentlemen, it is an absolutely beautiful day out, and I do sort of wish we could do this outside.
Just move the commentary box outside, maybe?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, for anyone who's in a particular remote part of the country or world, the Cherry Blossom Festival here in D.C., a pretty big annual event. Generally not as warm as it is today, so you generally don't have bonspiels on days where it's 80 degrees outside, unless you specifically are planning for a summer spiel, as we're sort of having in an impromptu manner today.
Yeah, definitely warmer than we're used to dealing with. It's about 50 degrees in the ice shed, so should be really comfortable, if not a little warm for most people.
Sounds kind of nice. Much warmer than we usually get to play in.
Yeah, usually about 34 degrees for league night, or colder sometimes. So
we had a bit of a wild throw from Howard there, Howard Griffin, and the attempted takeout. And so a nice opportunity early here to guard up that stone that's on the forefoot. But this needs to curl a long way. It's going to be a guard.
If they can drag this, it's going to have nice line, I think, for a center
it's
guard.
Finishing nice. That's pretty close to fully covering. Pretty nice opening salvo there from Fred McIntosh.
Yeah, covering at least half, maybe 2/3 of it, so pretty good. So they're going to go for a softer weight takeout here, just like or maybe just a straight freeze.
Yeah, this looks much nicer. Howard kind of had quite a head of steam on his last shot, and just ran dead straight.
Well, I think they need to stop sweeping this. It needs to curl. Maybe it just overswept that a little bit, but
yeah. It's unfortunate. It was a really good shot. Maybe a foot heavy at the most.
Yeah, so I think if you could ever hit and flop over here, sit basically on top of your existing stone, you're going to be in a great spot.
Not without danger. If you ever hit, just a quarter of the outside of that red rock, you're going to lose both your yellows. This looks like a pretty good throw, though. I don't think that'll be a danger.
Yeah, it's curling pretty hard here. I have to be really careful about the guard. I think they might be on it. Wow,
Whoa.
Just clipped it.
The rock looks a bit light. I'd say hack weight at the most, probably. They really just rubbed the guard a little bit, and the rock just barely made it through the house.
Yeah, pretty quiet there. So I think Bruce just calling for the freeze down to the shot stone here. Trying to get set up so he can move that yellow out later. So here's Arthur Hewer trying to make the draw.
Is a call for a guard or a draw? Not sure. Brock is finishing nicely. Wow.
Wow. I would not have guessed that you could actually get to the shot stone without touching the red one at all, but they did.
Well, Arthur does have a bit of a magical release. His rocks do curl quite a bit, as evidence there. So that's a solid back 8 weight shot that curled, 4 feet, 3.5 feet.
This, on the other hand, really needs to curl. And I don't think it's going to do it. It might just clip one, but well, moves things around. Not quite what they were after.
No, I'd say not. Even that red that's back 4, second shot right now, really not very usable for Jack.
So aiming, looking for a guard here to guard their second shot. See if we get the extra curl that you were just talking about on this one.
I have found their reference.
Yeah,
It
pretty much.
is going sideways.
It's going a little heavy though, so it's going to go right down to the yellow, which isn't all that bad. There's a bit of a pocket there. Is the only problem.
Yeah, I guess the good news is I don't think you're shot if you get into the pocket. So good news for Bruce Black anyway.
Right. Yeah, the top stone probably still outcounts. I think they're going to make this draw anyway. I kind of like this call. You want to cut down the chance of scoring.
Yeah, absolutely.
Multiple.
Yeah, the good news for Jack, if he does get one in there, even if you manage to just tap the left red back just a little bit, the yellow is not going anywhere.
It looks like this was a little wide. It's still kind of going outwards, so I don't think this is going to make it into the pocket.
It not quite to the pocket. It's trying to curl, but just a little extra weight.
Yeah. Could be trouble now. Bruce is looking at throwing that guard again. Don't mind the guard. I also don't mind going into the rings, top 12 ring maybe, but just want to make sure that they can't get in there.
Yeah, I don't mind the guard here. It's going to force Jack back to the outturn side. Those angles aren't really very favorable.
No, not at all.
You might consider peeling the guards.
This looks like it might over curl. Maybe get a bounce off this yellow guard. Well, I think it's probably good enough.
It's kind of the best of both worlds, I think. It guards the pocket a little bit, although I think the pocket is still there.
Yeah, it looks like they think they can still get there. There's plenty of curl, so I do get quite a lot of curl at this club usually, so a lot of draws are makeable.
Looks like better line from Nancy.
Yeah, Sweeper is going hard on this one. Try and get past the guard.
They are
Looks
by.
like they're by, but are they going to curl over? No, just a little bit too much weight again. Does move one of the reds out. Improving the situation a little bit.
Yeah, red's still sitting 2. The red back 4 is not really going anywhere.
No. No, that is dead frozen there. And same call again here from Bruce Black. Nicely throwing that guard on the side. I won't really leave a lot for Stopera to work with.
No, in fact, now I wouldn't mind going right around the guard and getting into the rings, like you said. getting late in the end.
Yeah. I mean, I think here, best shot, well, I don't know what the best shot is. One shot you could do is draw, yeah, exactly, freeze to the one in the top 4. You would be second shot. And then you've kind of shrunk the scoring area quite a lot.
Yeah, even freezing on the back red rock, you'd be full 4. You wouldn't be shot, but it would shrink the scoring zone, like you said. Put a little more pressure on Bruce to have to make a good one.
Absolutely. So it looks like we have got a couple of updates from the other sheets. Over on sheet A, looks like Datlow took a single point in the second end. So it's now, oh, sorry, I beg your pardon. Yep, they took a single point in the second end, so they're trailing 2-1 as they play the third. And over on sheet D, it looks like McNeil scored 1 in the first, and their opponent scored a 2 in the second to go up by 2 points to 1. And that's Groomsbridge from King's Curling Club, leading 2-1 on sheet D. So meanwhile, on our feature game,
yeah, so Jack made a pretty good shot there. Sweepers had to go for a long time to try to keep the rock straight. Probably added a few feet that they didn't want. So he does bounce off of the rock that was top 4. Is currently sitting wide open as well. So I think what Bruce has called here is kind of a lightweight tap back. He's going to try to move that yellow rock through the 4-foot and should be able to sit 3. Should be able to sit 3 buried, in fact.
Yeah, nice opportunity here. Even if you just nose it, still pretty good. Although, looks like it has to curl a long way right now.
He's actually throwing more weight than I thought. This looks like maybe control weight even. I think Harvey is lining some alternate plan up.
Oh, wow. Yeah, not a lot you could do with that one, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's pretty unfortunate. It looked like he was just wide of the broom there, Bruce, a little bit, with a little extra weight as well, like you said.
Yeah, it was I was basing my weight call on the line. It looked like he had took a lot of ice for that shot.
Yeah, I was surprised there. I was expecting maybe sort of a board weight or something take out, but it seemed like a lot of ice. So he's definitely tapped in Stopera for second shot frozen, so that's not going anywhere. Now the question is, what else can he do here to shrink the scoring area?
Yeah, this end has really kind of gotten away from Bruce. I think there is enough room, even if you're all the way to the yellow, to be shot.
Get right into the button, yeah.
Yeah, right on the button. Even if you're not frozen to it, there's plenty of room to get shot.
It's definitely worth going for.
I think Jack would be pretty happy here, just getting close to that yellow, though. Conceding 1.
Go hard to get around this guard.
Rock is just diving.
Well, did not get around the guard, but blocks off the draw path. So I don't see any easy way to get a second point here for Bruce Black. Maybe in off of your own one.
Yeah, I think that might actually be his best option right now.
In fact, you never know. If you do that perfect, you might be able to get 3 out of it, but that's a bit of a bit of an ambitious shot.
Yeah, there's a few ambitious shots that I see, like some kind of a run back on one of the left corner guards. Maybe, but I think he's actually lining up for the draw.
Yeah. Tough to get around all that, get to the button, but he must feel he could do it.
Yeah, it has to be fully in the forefoot to be second shot. The yellow stone that's second shot now is just not fully in.
So from the hack, I bet he can see about a quarter of the forefoot. Oh no, he is throwing the takeout. Okay.
Yeah, the ice did look like it could be for the draw. So needs to probably catch only about, I don't know, 3/4 of this. He's pretty close. He's really close.
In.
I think he made it.
On the overhead, it looks like he's got it.
I'd say so. Great effort.
That was a really great shot. Well, whatever it is, they've agreed. I think it was 2.
So Bruce pulling a rabbit out of his hat after kind of a miserable first shot. Salvages the deuce.
Yeah, they're at the scoreboard end. There's Harvey. Hangs the second, hangs the third, makes it official.
Yeah, great play there by Bruce.
Thanks, Harvey, for the bookkeeping.
And it was a really instructive shot there. A lot of newer curlers starting out, they don't think to use their own rocks in a way like that. You know, it was his own red rock that he made the hit and roll of. And it's absolutely a smart call to do that. You can hit your own rocks as well as your opponents.
Yeah, certainly no rule against that. One of my favorite, in fact, is the peel of shame. I think when you your lead throws up a guard when you intended to get a rock in the house. And then for the second shot, you have them peel their rock. Even though the free guard zone might still be in effect, it's not a violation to peel your own stone. So
May have done that a few times. Once or twice. So it looks like the call here was a draw to the wing, which, or maybe a corner guard. I actually missed what happened with the first stone, but it obviously went all the way through the house because it's not in play.
Did I hit the wrong mute button? Sorry, folks. My bad.
No worries. So that draw just clings on to the back 12 foot there.
Another one of those that we were talking about earlier, the accidental draw to the back 12.
Yes, that's right. You can never do it on purpose, but. So I think Howard's just going to follow it down, really.
Straka curling quite a bit.
Yeah, pretty nice shot there. It's pretty much where Bruce asked him to put it, so I guess he's thinking about, you know, tempting him into the hit that will make jam.
Yeah, it's certainly executed, I think, the called shot.
A couple other things you could have done there. I mean, if you want to be aggressive, go for the steal, you could have thrown another center guard. If you want to be really defensive, you could have just hit the open rock. So it's sort of an in-between decision. Nice shot there.
Yeah, that kind of burned him, Bruce, that is, that shot call. He left a lot of space between the red and the yellow. That was a back 12, so pretty straightforward to remove the red and keep the shooter around.
Yeah, I would think that the plan was maybe just by making Stepera go after that rock, it was not letting him sort of set up a house and set up for a deuce. But on that takeout, he actually does roll and sort of split the house as much as you can when your first rock is just sort of dangling on the back 12. But he's got these at a decent angle where there's not a lot of a double there.
No, double would be really thin.
And so he may have actually just sort of set up to be able to just keep one of these two always in play.
Still a lot of rocks to go.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, nice shot there from Arthur Hewer. Just taking it right on the nose. Now, if you keep doing this 3 or 4 times, that rock's going to keep getting a bit higher, at which point there might be an easier double. So at least that's what they always say on the TV when I watch the Briar.
There may be. Yeah, what I'd like to see Bruce do is maybe start trying to roll over to the left side of the house as we look at it. Trying to group rocks. Get set up for an eventual double.
I think he's going to get a little help here with this one. Might roll over a little bit. Yeah. So now there's a good double chance.
Yeah, looks like about 12:30. Not quite 1 o'clock on that rock. Should do it.
Yeah. Well, Bruce is gesturing in a. Well, I think he's saying is that there was something funny with the release there.
Yeah, Arthur had a very thoughtful-looking shot, but I think he ended up kind of sliding tight to the broom and then putting the rock back, out towards the broom. Normally straightens it out a little bit.
Right.
That said, pretty good result. Didn't get the double, but it was close.
This looks like a freeze attempt here, judging from the ice.
Yeah, aggressive call from Jack.
Yeah, Redstone is behind the tee line, so you can use it to your advantage.
Yeah, I don't mind the call. If you nosed, you wouldn't potentially leave a double.
I think this might actually take it all the way out. No, not quite. Sort of in between there. But it did enough to sit 1 and 2, so still a good result.
Harvey should have the double here if they wanted to take it on. Through the outturn and hit, thin kind of half.
Yeah.
It's pretty natural.
Yeah, it's coming the other way. I guess he's just trying to play a little safer. Make sure one goes away, although I'm not sure one is going to go away with this. He needs to really, well, he's going to catch a piece of it.
He might be making the double anyway.
Yeah, he might be. No, not quite.
It's a little too thin.
It's always nice when you make a double by accident. So since DeBerry's already shot, he's not worried about that redstone. He can just use it to help him. So he's going to draw right in front of it. Uses the catcher.
Yeah, no risk now.
Sweepers are kind of on and off this one, so it's probably pretty close.
Yeah, they don't seem to be panicking. It's always what you want to see.
Just didn't curl over quite as much as they'd hoped, but he's going to pull up in time to be second shot. Oh, first shot, actually. So he's 1 and 2 right now, but everything is at the back of the house. So, like, one good freeze here can really outcount both those yellows.
It's kind of a funny sweeper behavior there. You saw both sweepers kind of stop at the hog line and have a look of concern. I think they maybe thought they overswept it.
Yeah. I've seen that look a few times. When your sweepers are no longer with the rock, then you know that something is bad about it. if they've stopped following it, it's usually a bad sign.
I employ the walking slow method. Like, I feel like if I walk slower, the rock will slow down.
How does that work?
It's 100%.
100%, yeah.
Works every time.
Well, ended up freezing on his own red. I think he's second shot with that.
Yeah, over curls, but not a horrendous result.
It's actually pretty close to whether he's second shot or not. It's hard to tell for sure.
I think he's second.
In any case, I think a little tap by Stopera will change that.
So I think for now, Jack called for a draw to the other side of the house.
Yeah, just trying to get into a good position. This one looks like it's a little heavy. This could be unlucky. They end up tapping their own out.
Bruce is prepared for this.
Oh my.
He looked like he was waiting all his life for that opportunity to sweep behind the tee.
Well, it didn't make too much difference in the end because I think that yellow is still third shot, which it was before. But a missed opportunity for sure.
Yeah, kind of takes the pressure off, gives Bruce this open freeze. He could elect to just hit that rock at this point.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised he's not going for that, to be honest.
Even if he knows, it would certainly not be a gimme to get rid of those red rocks, that big cluster. And if he could ever roll towards the center line just a little bit and sit 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
Might be a good way to get a force. But it's not wrong if you make it.
That's right. So here's the freeze attempt by Bruce Black with his first stone. Not having the hammer in this end. So a little bit of risk here if he doesn't make it. It's looking pretty good from here. Maybe a little bit extra weight.
Yeah, it did run a little straight.
Yeah, so he is 1 and 2 now, but there's the potential for some kind of double on those if Stopera wants to take it on.
Is this Jack's first stone?
Yeah, it's his first stone. I think it might be worth a try.
I do as well.
If you hit it perfect, you could sit 3. Now you probably leave some kind of double for Bruce, but then you still got a good chance for 2.
Agreed, and I think he's kind of eyeing it up. He's trying to decide what rock he wants to hit. I think his concern is if he hits the outside rock, it might not leave the house, and
yeah,
I think I'm concerned as well. It's a bit of an optical illusion, I think, if you're showing the overhead camera because the lens is fisheyed. But
yeah,
those rocks are actually offset a little more than they appear on TV.
Right. Yeah, could be a dead jam there unless you really rocket it.
Yeah, so it kind of looks like the double just dead jams, just stuffs.
Well, it's on its way. And, well, in the end, he went for a different shot. Looks like he's just hitting the shot stone.
Yeah, I think they try to roll over maybe towards the other reds. Didn't quite get it.
Yeah, so all Bruce really needs to do is make this go away and roll somewhere where there's no easy double. And he could make a double on those yells. I don't know if he even has to, but
I think he could make the triple if he really wanted to.
Yeah, he could.
Might be there.
Well, he's actually going to just draw it down to it. Ooh, it's an interesting decision.
Yeah, nerves of steel.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, if you make the freeze, that's perfect. But pretty easy to give up a soft 2 this way. Or even more if you throw it really bad.
Yeah, I might be, were it me, I might be inclined to just nose that yellow or roll a little bit towards the center line. Not too much, though. You don't want to leave a double back.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of with you, Melvin. I think it's certainly more straightforward and less risky. But then we'll watch Bruce make the perfect freeze here. Show us how it's done.
Yeah, he doesn't have to be perfect on weight. Really, line's important. If he gets across the nose just a little bit, he'll set up quite a big pocket.
Oh, this is really heavy, though.
Yeah, this looks closer to board weight.
Yeah, way too much weight there, unfortunately. So
maybe hack.
Now it's an interesting decision. If those reds, if it really dead jams, or whether you could squeeze it out there, could be for as many as 4. Or you could, obviously you have a simple draw for 2.
Yeah.
I think it's probably worth having a go at it.
I think so. Again, it is a really interesting illusion because, like you notice with the fisheye, it looks like those rocks are right in front of one another, but they are not.
Yeah, there's definitely, the angle is not great. But these rocks are kind of lively, right? So
yeah,
it might spin off enough. And you know what? Even if it doesn't, you still get your 2 probably. So, well, you should if you don't roll off.
Yeah, I'm almost feeling like to make those 2 red rocks go away, you end up losing the 2 yellow rocks that are right beside it.
Yeah.
Because you have to hit kind of half or thinner on the red.
Yeah.
So you kind of spill all of that. So you end up getting 2 anyway.
This could end up being kind of like a round the horn thing where the shooter ends up going back up the house.
Accidental blank.
Yeah, accidental blank. You heard it here first.
I wonder if he's thinking if he noses, he might be able to get 3.
Yeah, maybe. It's hard to see here. It doesn't look like it from this angle, but well, he's going to give it a try, so here it comes. And it's close. I don't know whether it's going to get it. Well.
Oh, great shot.
It looks like he did get at least 3. Don't know it. I think it's only 3, but that's a great shot.
Yeah, as we suspected, that was really set up for the jam.
Yeah, just moved it enough to count an extra yellow there. Great shot.
But a typical, just a regular one of those like canvas bags that she made us, but a bigger one is good.
And really, it was a bit of a risky decision by Bruce Black to go for that freeze, I think, instead of a straightforward hit. But
so we talked with Gary because we went and bought an Asher giant bag.
So Stopera takes a 1-point lead after 4 with that great shot. So it's 4-3 as we start the 5th end.
I have that one bag, and it can hold 2 or 3 brooms. So I might have just Adam and I just throw our brooms in there. The head just snaps off of mine. I can put it in my carry-on with my shoes or something.
So expect a center guard to be thrown here.
Because I figure shoes, jacket, all that stuff can just go in the carry-on.
And as we get this end underway, we'll try to update you on the scores on the other sheets. Over on sheet A, it's currently 3-2 to Datlow against Virginia. That's after 3 ends. They're still playing the 4th end. And over on sheet D, we have a big score. And we have, that is Groomsbridge throwing red and McNeil throwing yellow. It's currently 7-4 to Groombridge after 4 ends, so high scoring encounter over there.
Also, if we make a final, we're going to have to rebook because their event finals are all at 3 on Sunday.
And on sheet C, we have Arnold against Johnson.
Unless we make the 5th or
And
6th
it's currently 4-2 to Johnson after 4 ends there. And so back to our feature game, where it is 4-3 to Stopera. with that nice 3 in the last end. So we have had a center guard thrown, and Black went right around it. But he went a little deep. He's just biting the back 4, so a nice chance for Stupera to get in here and shut down this end early and really kill the scoring area. But this one a little on the heavy side. Just going to wick that red and roll right to the back. All the way out, maybe? Yeah, just out the back. So a bit of a missed opportunity there. It was a great chance to just immediately shut down the scoring area. But now Bruce has a chance to draw another one in there. He gestured for top 12. I'm a little surprised he didn't go a little deeper, like top 8, biting 4, but wants to keep his rocks usable.
Yeah, unfortunately, that rock back 4 is a bit of a liability.
Absolutely. Yeah, not where you would have placed it if you had the chance to put it anywhere you wanted. But that's a pretty good shot. Just a little bit lighter than he liked, but have to draw the other side now. So now another good chance to try and get right down into the 4-foot here and just close off the scoring area.
There might be another place I have to make that
This one looks a little light. I don't think it's going to get there.
No, the line is starting to look really good.
Yeah, well, just a little bit light, but kind of blocks off that side. So we might see Bruce open it up a bit here.
That's in a really usable place. It's a bit of a sucker shot, too. I wouldn't want to try to remove that by throwing an intern.
No, because you just know you're going to jam it on the back row.
Yeah, no matter like how hard you try.
It's every time. I would probably think about peeling a center guard, honestly, even though it's guarding your own stone.
Yeah.
You have the hammer. You want to have some room to work with. It's still early.
Yeah, Bruce calling the guard here, which goes against every textbook and forum post that I've ever read.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I know he's shot, but I'm not too sure about this. I mean, he has got a rock on the right side of the sheet you might raise, but it's pretty early in the end. I don't know if trying to protect this stone for this long is going to be effective. So Stupera calling for the draw. I think it's sort of a multi-purpose throw here. Like if you can tap up your yellow, that's great. Maybe you get a straight draw to the side of the 4-foot. That's great. I wasn't quite sure what the plan A was, but
no commitment. Just throw the rock in this area.
Yeah. Sometimes the problem with having too many plans, though, is you don't commit to one of them, right? And you end up sort of with a sort of in-between shot all the time. Well, it ended up being a kind of high guard. So still room here for Bruce to draw around. I wouldn't mind playing a tap on the guard.
Yeah, my concern is the guard's actually kind of saving him. It's blocking the freeze right now.
Yeah.
And with a completely guarded up left side of the house.
Yeah, well, he's
kind of forced his own hand.
Yeah. He's kind of left more room now, though, after that shot, because he didn't get to nose.
Yep.
Like you say, the freeze is available.
Yeah, that was my concern.
Yeah.
Have you been? Here.
Yeah, I think you're never entirely comfortable when you're trying to defend a stone and sort of back 4 area. It's just one good shot from the other team, and you kind of lost your opportunity for a big score.
Or any score.
Or indeed. But they've seen this line a fair bit, so this should be close.
Yeah, it certainly curls there.
Line looks pretty reasonable. All about the weight here. It looks pretty close. Just needs to curl over a bit. And
it's a bit of a late bloomer, I think, because it was just a hair heavy. Didn't quite curl.
Looks like they did get shot for now, but yeah, not quite getting the curl they wanted. They're going to be able to see some of that, but opting for the draw tap anyway, I think. It's Harvey Chalmers. Throwing the draw. Sweeper's keeping a close eye on this. Seem pretty happy with it right now.
It's actually a little wide, I think.
Yeah, it needs to really curl. It's going to make contact with the yellow.
Oh, it is starting to finish pretty hard.
Well, he's actually going to finish right on the tee line. Pretty good spot.
Yeah, I'm going to say still advantage Jack here, though. A lot of rocks in the back of the forefoot, including second shot.
Yeah, if he can come right down to this and freeze right on it, it's basically a force.
Yeah, or potentially a steal.
Yeah, and he'll be quite happy with either of those scenarios. This one looks much tighter for line. Swimmer's not going on it yet, but I feel like this is going to over curl.
It is tight. I'm not sure it's going to make it.
No, I think it's going to clip the red, and a little light this time, I think, maybe has made a difference. But blocks the in-turn path, sorry, the out-turn path. It's my in-turn, I would say that. So not a lot of options, really, for Bruce Black to get a second point. So here comes another draw. There's a guard attempt here by Harvey. Not really sure what they're guarding, to be honest. Maybe just a raise. In fact, kind of squeezes in through the hole there for fourth shot. So there is a yellow raise. I don't know whether Jack's going to play it or not. He might be happy to leave that yellow where it is.
Yeah, I'm still going advantage Jack here. And it's mostly because of that yellow rock. He has top 12 on the right side.
Yeah.
It's just in such a great position. It occludes the scoring area, and it's very raisable. I think he is calling for the raise.
It looks like it from here, yeah.
Okay.
You just don't want to do what happened earlier in the end and catch half of it, and roll open, and leave a big draw port again.
Yeah, exactly. You might be inclined to throw with a little bit more weight, just to make the rock a little easier to control.
I think this one needs to curl. He's not even on it yet. Looks like he's going to catch the red guard on the right and just create a second guard for himself, which, you know, is not a bad result.
Yeah, I feel like his hopes for a steal have gone away, but he's in pretty good force position. That stagger is the wrong direction.
Yeah. There's really no way to get at that yellow stone that's back 4, at least without doing something crazy. Don't really see a way to get at it. And so now, I wonder if they're playing, well, I have no idea what they're playing. Looks like they think they can draw through the outside to get to the 4 foot, which maybe they can, yeah.
There might be enough room.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, if you're, if you're extremely unlucky, you leave some sort of triple, but it's probably not going to happen. Maybe there's some sort of triple tap in the middle.
I was just looking at that. I think that is a good last rock.
Yeah, it's certainly possible. Not ideal, obviously.
Yeah, he may have two. Bruce may have 2 shots. That triple tap and the in off of the kind of the redirect off of his red. That's pretty wide. Both of them are not what I would call easy.
No, absolutely. This looks like it actually might clip that red.
This could be really good.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
Oh, doesn't have the weight to carry.
Oh, he's not got a usable stone, though.
Yep. Yep, he does.
He can definitely use that on his last. And actually, Stupera has to be a little careful here because he could conceivably get 4 with that by playing a double tap. If he played it perfect.
Yeah, good eye. Does appear to be there.
So I think he's going to guard it, but he has to make sure he does. He's a good guard. So yeah, I think Jack is playing the guard here to take away that raise. Coming from the center line outwards. Now these can curl a lot as they go towards the sidelines, so he has to be a little careful he doesn't lose it. But right now it needs to move a long way. And it's starting to go now.
Yeah, it's coming off the line nice now.
Yeah, they just got to keep bringing it. I think they're going to do enough. Yeah, nice shot there. So now we're back to those crazy options we were talking about before. There's maybe the triple tap. In-off's not there anymore. Well, actually.
Very long in-off.
It is there, yeah. Very. We saw Bruce do one of these earlier. Maybe he'll have another go.
He's got triple tap up the middle. I'd say the double tap using the guard that was just thrown, which is
yeah, very true.
Not awesome, but technically there.
It's not ideal.
I think he's opting for the triple tap.
Yeah, that's interesting. Angles are not ideal. The yellow goes onto the red. You got to hit the first one somewhere on the right.
Yeah, I think it's actually thinner than you think.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's a little bit misleading on the camera.
Which means he's going to have to throw a pretty good amount of weight, like probably board weight or
yeah,
maybe, yeah, probably board weight.
Well, it looks like about board weight. So, yeah, I think they got to go. That's curling off the line.
Yeah, I'm not sure he got fully to the broom.
Yeah, he's going to nose the first one, so we'll see where this goes. No, not quite.
Well, rocks moved.
So I think it was a score of 1 for Bruce, which ties it up at 4-4. So nice tight game here.
I'm going to go on the record as saying Bruce got off easy that end. I think guarding that rock back 4 was a bit tenuous.
Yeah, I agree. It was it's difficult to defend a stone there. I mean, he ended up succeeding, but there were quite a few opportunities for Sapera to make a freeze there.
That's a classic do as I say, not as I do moment. For you kids at home.
So we're just getting underway in the 6th end.
This game is moving right along. Good pace.
Yeah, absolutely. The game on sheet C is flying. They're almost done with the 6th already, which is amazing considering that the other 2 sheets are still in the 5th, or at least sheet A is still in the 5th.
Yeah, D is in the 6th.
Oh, you're right. Yep.
Oh yeah, D's in the 6th. Okay.
They just haven't hung the score yet, or at least if they have, I can't see it.
Oh, they hung the 5th. That game sort of turned into a barn burner at some point. It was 2-1 after 2, and it's currently 7-6 after 5. So I think they traded threes or something in the 3rd and 4th end.
Oh, fantastic.
Actually, no, it was Red got a 5 in the 4th.
My word.
Red is
Red is the team from King Curling Club,
Yeah,
Team Groombridge. So that's McNeil down, I think, 7-6.
Does look like Allen responded well after giving up that 4, though. He got his deuce, so he's only down by 1.
Yeah, so on sheet A, they're furthest behind. They seem to have a lot of rocks going on, a lot of decisions to make.
Yeah, I noticed Katie and Nick they had the protractor out.
Oh, a couple of measures.
Some measuring, a lot of angles. They were using their HP graphing calculators. really going over all the ins and outs and possibilities here.
Yeah.
So that just takes some time.
Can't quite see what the situation in the house is on sheet A, but it looks like Nick Datlow has made a decision, and he's coming down to throw his rock, his final rock, I think, for the end.
Yeah, it looks like he's got some kind of tricky, thin, double, skirting past the guard. Not a good situation all around deal to work with.
So meanwhile, back on our feature game, Stupera just drawing out to the wing there. This is a long center guard, and opting to draw the play out to the wing. It's kind of a defensive play. It's a kind of a way of getting a soft 2, I guess, if you like. Right?
Yeah, I agree. Not a lot of risk. You basically put the risk back on the team without hammering. You say, hey, feel free to ignore that rock if you want to and go around your center guard.
Right. Or feel free to make a mistake like that and flash your takeout, and now you've got a chance to get 2 in there.
Yeah, the guard is a little too long to be helpful. It's going to be more of an annoyance, I think. So Jack should be able to get his deuce.
Yeah, set up well at the moment. He's going to go around the long center right now.
I don't mind it. He could opt to throw the corner guard. Another option.
Absolutely. So if you throw the corner, the other team basically has 2 options. They can peel the corner, or they can go around the center and say they're going to try to steal. I imagine that they would just go around the center because a lot of teams don't feel that comfortable making peels.
Yeah, I think they would, and that center guard being as long as it is, I think is not a really good steal position. So that's why I thought maybe throwing the corner guard might force Bruce into the center of the house and
Yeah.
Potentially leave you with an opportunity to score 2 or 3.
Absolutely. Well, Bruce attempting to hit again on this yellow stone. Needs to curl a long way. We'll see if Arthur's magic handle comes into play. Not this time.
That was probably the cleanest release I've ever seen Arthur throw.
And it was an unfortunate time to do it, I guess.
Yeah. He unfortunately picked a bad time.
No, wait. No, I didn't mean to pick on Arthur. He's a lovely guy and a good curler. But it is an opportunity now for Jack to. He's gonna draw in again. So his first attempt last time came up light. It's actually a tight guard, which is not great. But he's gonna make use of it anyway. Personally, I would be thinking about coming from the other side, just because it's a little easier to get around both guards and underneath. But maybe they don't know that path as well.
Very likely. I also think the split isn't a bad call here. You could try to get both your yellow shooter and that guard on the house.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea. I don't mind that at all. And they almost ended up doing that. That, however, is not a great place to finish. Back 4. It's a great opportunity here to shut down the scoring area. Come right down to it if you want to.
Yeah, it's crazy how these ends can just kind of go back and forth on you. Jack looked like he was in a great position, and then 2 kind of half-executed shots. One a little short of the house, one a little long. Just really, really changes the complexion.
Absolutely. And, well, he's passed the guard by a long way. He needs to curl. It's going to be pretty good.
Oh, I think that's a great shot.
Yeah, it's really hard to get that out. I think he's covered a piece of it. So,
yeah, it's a piece covered, and the piece that's not covered is the part that would jam. So
yes.
that's in a nice spot.
So Jack's saying, I think he gestured a back line weight here. So if you throw it light enough, you can curl up to the nose, tap it back through. Delicate shot, though. There's a significantly non-zero chance of doing exactly what Mike just described and jamming it onto the yellow.
Yeah, I think dropping the weight gives you a little better chance, I think. Should get more curl. He might be able to get almost a nose.
Yeah.
Which would be a really great shot, in fact.
This is a delicate one. This is the sort of shot that you see high-level teams make these a lot, and it kind of is like the difference almost between really good teams and sort of average teams. That weight control.
Yeah, absolutely. They may have waited a little too long to get on this rock, though.
Yeah, it looks like they might make that split on the front like you... well, they roll one of them in. Don't think the other one got in the rings.
It's not bad, though. They did expose the inside edge of that red.
Yeah, and Bruce now calling for the guard, and understandable decision, but also there's risk here. I mean, if you ever miss a guard, there are 3 yellows in the rings already. I think the top one is on. Hard to say for sure.
From the overhead, it doesn't look like it is, but we do have a weird sort of fisheye effect, and so it could be that I'm seeing sort of under the edge of that stone, and it might be touching. But
yeah, it's curious from our vantage point here in Warman. It looks like it's on definitely, but from the overhead, it really doesn't. So, but this guard looks like it's going to be made. Well, he's coming a little deep, which isn't the end of the world.
Oh, maybe they're just going to freeze it on there.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's actually a pretty good shot.
Yeah. So now it's kind of a conundrum for Jack, what to do about this position.
Yeah, just tucked the inside edge of that rock, so the double is really, really...
Yeah, the red stones are almost
hard.
edge on edge, and the outer edge of the top one is the part that's covered now. So the nose double or the sort of slash off the top one is covered.
Looks like Nancy's doing a little house cleaning anyway.
Yeah, this one looks like it's just a little thrown out there. Well, got an interesting redirect there. Wasn't so bad. I think it was trying to get straight to the top red there, but floated it a bit.
Maybe not how they drew it up, but
so I'm pretty sure they're going to go after this yellow. The question is, what kind of weight they're going to throw? Well, judging from that ice, it's actually might be just a draw down to it.
I don't hate the draw, I got to be honest. If you sit right in between the yellow and red that's on the button,
yeah,
really can't remove the rock you're going to throw. And even if you attempt to, the rock on the button is just going to jam straight back on the yellow that's on the back four. So really sitting in the pocket is a great shot. You could opt to just remove the yellow and kind of roll in, like roll up on the nose of your red rock.
Yeah.
Or just a little bit outside of nose, again, set up that same jam. Could roll away as well.
Yeah, see, I was thinking that, you know, if you just hit the yellow and kind of roll away, it's not terrible.
Yeah, you'd still be in a pretty good shot. I wouldn't be surprised if he is just calling the freeze, though.
Yeah, we've seen him do a couple of these. Certainly got no fear. And it looks like it just needs to curl.
Yeah, the weight's close, I think.
Yeah, he might be right in this pocket. Might be just tapping the yellow a little bit.
Oh, that would be excellent.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh, that's a pretty good shot.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Like, things are just jamming everywhere, I think, with a double attempt there. So, pretty tough situation. I think you can, well, I don't know, actually.
This is Jack's first rock, right? Yes.
I believe so. I mean, he has to move some stuff around here because right now he can't score.
He's not looking at it. He does have the in off on the right, off the yellow on the right there. That would give you direct access to the rock that's on the button.
Yeah, and that's probably save that for your last day if you.
Tricky shot though.
Yeah. This way, I think if he noses the second red with a lot of weight, the back one might squeeze out. He might take the yellow with it, but I think the other red is just going straight into the one on the side. Well, we'll see. Really hard to get both of these out. I don't really see it happening.
Anyway, look at it. Peach of a shot from Bruce to see that pocket and then to execute it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he's got the weight, and he's well. That's pretty good. It's about as good as he could do, I think.
Yeah, that's actually a great result. Got a lot more action than I was expecting. On the rock that was formerly on the button, now that rock just biting a little bit of the outside 12.
Yeah, now Bruce has to be pretty careful here. Whatever he decides to do. I mean, he might probably considering guarding, but yellow is now a second shot.
Yeah, I might be inclined to throw that short double.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of like that call, Melvin. Why not?
It will leave Jack a pretty routine nose hit for one, but I'd say considering how the end looked a little bit ago, you might count yourself lucky. It's a tight game, so force is not the end of the world.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he probably is going to end up throwing this guard here, but if you risk giving up two if you don't make it. You don't make it well.
If you wanted to be really aggressive, you could actually throw kind of a heavy draw and trickle in off of the red that's on the side of the forefoot.
Oh yeah, just roll underneath. Yeah.
Kind of roll underneath and push the red over towards the yellow on the side of the forefoot. Sit your 2 that way.
Yeah, and if you really had to steal, I guess that's what you would do.
That would, yeah, that would be what I think that would be one of the only options you had.
Yeah. So it looks like the guard.
To quickly answer the question in the chat from Cam Hamilton, is there a draw after this one? There's actually 2. At approximately 8 o'clock, there will be a draw of 2, I believe there'll be A event quarterfinals, or maybe A event semifinals and C event semifinals or something like that, or quarterfinals. And then we'll have another draw at about 10 o'clock. That will be the B event semifinal.
The dreaded 10 o'clock draw.
But that game doesn't feed into like 9 a.m. draw tomorrow, so that's why that game is allowed to be as late as it is.
Yeah, the next draw is the A semis and the C quarters. So obviously winners of the A semis go on to the final tomorrow. And then the C semis would be in the morning with a pretty quick turnaround for the final.
So, meanwhile, Bruce didn't really make his guard, if that's indeed what the attempt was. Came into the rings, and kind of sat there in a pretty awkward spot. So, Jack has a chance, maybe a chance for 2, but it's very difficult to get that red out without clipping the yellow on the way by.
Yeah, I think it's just there.
Yeah, it's really... You got to flirt with the top, that red that Bruce just threw, but it is there.
You have to be about as close to it as you can get, without actually making contact.
Yeah, I think what I kind of expect to see here is Jack make sure of the 1. So he's going to make sure he's by the red guard and see what happens, probably.
It could get really unlucky, and if he's very wide, give up a whole bunch, but
yeah.
I don't think he'll miss like that.
No, he's pretty close.
Yeah, sweeper's on and off.
Yeah, he's close. I don't know if he's going to avoid the jam. He is. Wow, nice shot there. Perfect. That was a really good shot. That was very difficult to actually do that.
Tricky indeed. Jack definitely using all of his experience.
So that's a big 2 in the 6th end. Put them in a strong position. They lead by 2 points with only 2 ends remaining. So Bruce Black needs to get a good end.
So on sheet A, I'm going to say that that thin double situation that Nick was attempting did not work out. They ended up giving up a steal of 3. So that game is 7-3 advantage of...
It's Virginia Curling Club.
Virginia Curling Club, thank you.
Oh, the team they're playing against.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Beg your pardon. It's Triangle Curling Club. My mistake.
Right on.
For some reason, I got those 2 mixed up.
A very similar situation, actually, right next door on sheet C. That game also at 6-4. With red scoring a deuce in in the 6th end.
Yeah, so that's Arnold from St. Paul playing red there against Johnson, which is like a Potomac Chesapeake mixture. And they hung a score on sheet D. Can't see.
They hung a 6th. It was another 2 for the team of Groombridge from the King Curling Club. And so they've got a 9-6 advantage through 6.
Yeah, looking at that scoreboard, though, I'm going to say anything could happen.
I'm not going to bet against that. It's a high-scoring encounter.
Yeah, it was like McNeil down 3 at the moment, but he got a 3 in the 3rd. He got a 2 in the 5th, so he's not out of the game by any margin yet.
So the stone a little heavy there. Stopera. They'll be looking to force here. And then they'll have that hammer coming home with a 1-point lead, hopefully. That would be their plan. Bruce really needs to score 2, at least.
Yeah, he's in pretty good shape right now, with the center guard actually over-curling and becoming a bit of a corner guard.
Just trying to split the rings early here. Nice shot there from Howard Griffin.
Yeah, great weight, perfect spot. Right now, Bruce has no out-turn draw, so we'll see how this end develops, and it might be a problem.
Yeah, Jack Stopera going after this. Stone in the 12-foot. This is sort of like my classic fail shot where I always over curl by a mile and miss it. But nicely done there.
Yeah, well thrown rock.
Shots are kind of harder than they seem because you tend not to throw that many takeouts out there. You kind of throw a lot down the center lines and the 4-foot lines, and then all of a sudden you have an edge of 12 takeout, and it's much harder to kind of find your line.
Certainly can be. I think the intern side, a lot of people tend to be a little tight more than anything, especially on wider lines.
Yeah.
There's also the tendency to sort of push out the out turn too, and at an upweight shot, you don't have any chance for it to recover.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially like on these sheets, if you're right, kind of out that far, there's not a lot of curl there. It tends to just kind of run along the sideline. So it looks like a straight draw here. Stopera, he has a rock in the sort of back button area.
Yeah, but bit of a mistake there from Arthur on his first. Didn't throw a lot of weight on the takeout. It over curled, and he didn't remove the yellow rock from play. In fact, just pushed it into that position by the button.
Yeah, this rock does not finish in the spot that they were looking for. They needed to curl like 2 more feet, really. But they are sitting 1 and 2, so force is potentially on. Still early, though.
Yeah, the good news is that is second shot, so that could be important.
So here's Arthur Heuer trying to make amends. This is really curling. I think he's going to hit the outside one. I don't know if that was the call, but makes it go away. Sits in a pretty awkward spot.
Might not have been the call, but it's not all bad. It's a pretty lonely yellow rock right now.
Yeah, it is. Jack is thinking about guarding, but like you say, it's pretty lonely there.
I always get the kind of nervous feeling in my gut when I have multiple of the opponent's rocks and I'm desperately throwing a guard.
Absolutely, yeah. This is. I think I would be tempted to have a crack at the red rock, but it's also got risk. Pretty easy to overcurl and jam, and then suddenly you're giving up 3. But you can give up 3 this way.
Yes. I think if Nancy was a little heavy on this, it wouldn't be the end of the world. That could always come and play the freeze on the red.
Yeah, absolutely.
As long as it was slightly offset, it would work out pretty well.
I think I actually kind of prefer the freeze over the guard, to be honest.
Well, it might be what's happening.
Yeah. Well, let's see. just on the corner would be great. And that's actually, well, you called it. That's pretty much exactly what happened. And I kind of like that.
Yeah, that is it's a pretty nice shot.
I think the angle is, the red goes just past the yellow, I think, or pretty close. It's not ideal to run back, so.
Yeah, they're pretty close together, so it's hard to say. It might, if you hit the right side of the yellow rock pretty hard, it might drag over and get that back yellow too.
Yeah. Yeah, they are almost touching, so yeah.
But that said, there's not a lot of point. You're going to lose your shooter in that case.
Yeah.
You're going to lose, for certain, the red that the yellow throws into.
So, I'm not sure of the call here. I think it's just a little like tap and move things around. Or maybe actually trying to go right to the shot stone. Well, that's a really nice shot. Taps it back to the edge of the back four, and it's still second shot that yellow, but red is shot right now.
Really changed up that angle too. Now that yellow-red, much easier to stick.
Yeah, absolutely. That could be big as we get further into the sand. We'll see a hit and roll attempt here. Try and sit two underneath. And then black might have no choice but to try that run back.
This rock appears to be over curling, so it might be made for him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, that is not what they were looking for.
The good news for Stopera at the moment is both the red rocks are behind the tee. The bad news is without that out-turn draw, it's actually pretty hard to get to a freeze.
Yeah, this is tricky. Bruce was calling here for actually a tight guard. And I don't mind that. I wouldn't actually mind going into the top ring. I don't think the two yellows are lined up particularly well for a tap. Well, possibly. You could probably get into the 4-foot, full four.
Yeah, you have to ask yourself what's Jack likely to throw? What's his best options? That in-turn hit is certainly available on the rock that is kind of back four. It is no longer there.
Yeah, so I think at this point you probably have two plausible shots. You've got that sort of double tap on the yellows, although that red is now in an awkward place. I'm not sure where the yellow's going to go. Or maybe you can access the redstone that's on the tee line with a soft tap and roll. I think you can see quite a lot of that from the right-hander's hack.
I'd say so. I'm not sure if the in-turn draw is available. If you can actually get shot rock, if you get around that stagger.
Possibly. Yeah, maybe. We're looking at all the options. You could maybe hit the one that would just throw in and try and make a double.
That might be what he's lining up, in fact.
Yeah, you can line it up pretty easily with the one that's in the back four, but then the one on the tee line still is going to be counting.
Yeah.
Is he thinking the stagger is going to help in some way? I think stagger almost goes like straight through the hole.
Yeah.
It almost, let me put it back on the overhead here.
I think it clips the top one, don't you? It's hard to say.
I think it's going to clip some of the top one, but I don't know what it does after that. If it spins back and just sort of runs back the center line, you might end up frozen like back button, which would be amazing.
Yeah,
but it also could just wick off and just roll right through the two in the back.
Could go straight through the hole, yeah.
It's tricky. A nose hit might drag just under.
I don't mind it with like a tap weight, to be honest. Just make
if
the yellow into the 4-foot.
If he does get any of that top red, though, I think it might redirect right straight back into the other red that's in the back four.
Yeah. It's really hard to say. Well, he's going for a different shot anyway. Going for that double.
Oh, nice.
Well,
almost nice.
Pretty good. Still 1 and 2 red though. Very close to making the double, but he has got a Yellowstone he can work with now.
He's got 2 Yellowstones he can work with, in fact.
Yeah. So he's definitely going to have something with his last to try and cut down the scoring area.
Sure, I don't think Bruce is going to be able to block everything. He might be able to throw kind of a high guard to prevent the stagger, the raise on the stagger, and also, no, I mean, it's, any way you look at it, I think Jack's going to have a shot here.
Yeah. Say you throw the high guard, I would say Jack probably goes after the red in the 4-foot. Even if he peels it out and rolls out, then it's 2 at worst.
Yeah, and a pretty tough shot for 2 at that.
Yeah. Well, they're thinking about all the options. Can't take away everything. So I guess what you gotta ask yourself is, what's the easiest shot for Jack? I don't really know. Like, there's, for me, I like the tap, but I think that there's 2 fairly makeable shots here.
Yeah.
And you can't really, yeah. So you just have to say what you'd rather have him throw, I guess.
Yeah, I think either tap, either the double, the double tap on the frozen rocks or the tap on the top 8 rock are certainly very reasonable shots. I think he even has the in-turn draw, like we kind of talked about before.
Yeah.
If he ever got around that stagger.
Well, it looks like it's going to be the guard. It's going to guard those raises and maybe leave a little hit. I'm interested to see whether he can guard both raises. I don't think he can.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out if there's any place, and I can't come up with it.
No, you kind of, the 2 stones are both just off the center line, and you kind of need to guard the outside of each one.
Yeah.
So if you sit in the middle, you're not really guarding either raise.
Oh my goodness.
And that looks like it doesn't get over the hog line.
Yeah.
So that's maybe the worst kind of guard.
the non-existent one.
I mean, you did suggest a high guard, but I think there was a little bit of a flaw in that plan there.
Damn the rules.
So now let's see what Jack likes. He's looking at the double tap right now, which I kind of like because you got a lot of margin for error. Because they're pretty much welded, as long as you hit the first one, you know, with a reasonable amount of the rock, something good's going to happen.
While they finish this call, I'll go ahead and run through scoring updates from those sheets. Over on A, Datlow was able to get a 4 in the 6th.
Wow.
And so that game is 7-7 after 6 ends. Team Johnson, throwing the Yellow Rocks on sheet C, only took a 1 in the 7th. So as they play the 8th, it is currently Team Arnold with 6, and Team Johnson with 5. So that's a 1-point game going into the 8th. And over on sheet D, Groombridge took another 1 in the 7th, and so that game is 10-6, I believe, also playing the 8th end.
Here comes the stone from Jack Stopera. I don't know whether he has enough weight here. It looks light. Yeah, well, gets in for second shot, so pretty good. I was concerned he wasn't going to move that enough.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. That's like my favorite thing to do is to play a tap and come up light. You know, doing absolutely nothing. Sorry, guys. That's kind of like my specialty. But that's pretty good. Gets the second shot. Leaves a tough shot for 2.
Yeah, that's the way all the Yellow Rocks are arrayed. I can't really see any good double.
No.
Yeah, I think he's got to play that promote. I think that's about all he has. Like, you'd love to somehow bring the rock in the 12-foot and the rock in the 8-foot into play, but You just don't see it.
No, I think you're right. So it looks like it is going to be the outside tap for Bruce with his final stone. And Sweeper called on right away. I think this is really tight. It's all over the high guard. And it's just going to be a single, I think.
Unless something crazy happens.
Yeah, so it is one red. And so Jack Stupera is going to go to the 8th end with a hammer, leading by 1.
Kind of a dream position, I guess, right?
Absolutely. Be very happy with that. So it's a must-steal game now for Bruce. He's going to do everything he can to steal in this 8th end. So I expect to see a couple of center guards here. Oh, this one's curling early. I wonder if it picked up something. Holding it pretty well. This is going to curl over to more of a corner position, though. So not an ideal start. It's going to be tough to steal with that one, so I expect them to throw a second guard. So Jack's just drawing to the open side. He's just trying to keep things as clean as he can. This is going to come up really light, I think. It's going to be a high guard, which is not really what they wanted. Also over curled, so it's right out on the edge. So it doesn't really do any harm. It's unlikely to block any draw paths or anything, so no harm done really. And Bruce deciding to go right behind this guard he threw. Kind of an interesting decision. I think really has to steal at all costs, so I kind of would rather throw a center guard there, because even if you manage to bury something right behind this corner guard for the whole end, Stupera is still going to have pretty much most of the 8-foot to draw to win. So you really need something in the 4-foot area to have a good chance to steal. So takeout attempt here on that redstone in play. Sweeper's working hard. I think they're going to get enough of it. Yes, they are. Nice shot. So now the guard is actually closer to the center line because of their wreck on their previous stone. So now it's a good chance to get underneath that. Bruce is going for the hit and roll. You could just draw straight in there, because really it doesn't matter if you give up 1 or 5 here. It's all the same. You lose the game. So you might as well go all out for the steal. So just a little down weight there. It's not even going to get the yellow out of the rings. So it's a unfortunate mistake. And yeah, so Jack Stupera wasting no time. He's going to peel the center guard. Just going to ignore that yellow stone. It's not very dangerous right now. Sort of in the back 8 area. Just get rid of the center. Give yourself all the room you need. Oh, I beg your pardon. It's his own stone. Of course he's not getting rid of it. There you go.
Well, if it warrants closer to the center, it might leave black something to try to freeze and get a steal. But where it is now, that's not really an issue.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. If you were back button, that would actually be kind of alarming. But on the other hand, the peel attempt did not work out. Wasn't even really that close, unfortunately. So I think we will see Bruce go for the draw. Yep, absolutely. You still have time here to set up your steal. You could even consider throwing another center guard if you wanted. But going right in there now. This looks like it's going to curl hard. Yeah, it's going now, and I think he's going to bounce off that guard. Yeah, he is. Split it on. So that's not ideal because he's moved that guard over again. And so Jack's going to just call for the takeout on the open red. If he can just sit there, he'll be in a pretty good position. Hard to draw around. And he'll have a stone of his available should he need it at the front of the house. So this one looks like it's over curling. He's going to have to go hard to make sure the red gets out. No, and it doesn't. And brushes his own one, leaves the red in play. But still, it's hard to say who's shot right now. It looks like it's still yellow. And both stones in the 12 foot. So still a lot of room to score. So Bruce is going to draw behind his red guard. It's hard to get much of the 4 foot area here and still be under cover. It's the only drawback. He might be able to use that yellow to his advantage. If he just covers half of his stone and leaves a bit of the center line poking out, that's still pretty good because there's a big jam possibility if Stopera tries to go after it. But this looks like it's going to come up light. Which isn't the end of the world. Another guard here is okay. But I think they would have liked it a little closer to center line.
Does possibly queue up a sort of double tap pointing at the button there.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, they're lined up, going pretty close to the button area. That's just going to be a straightforward hit here, I think, for Stopera. Just eliminate reds. So the game on sheet D is over. And did you catch the score on that, Mike?
I didn't see how the 8th finished, but I do believe that was a victory for Team Groombridge from the King Curling Club.
Not staying to watch it. That's not happening.
So here's the takeout attempt here for Stopera. This one also in danger of overcurling. Seaver's going pretty hard. I think they're going to hold it this time. Just about. Just getting it out. And rolling, creating a pretty big pocket there at the back, which is not really what he wanted, but he's far enough back that there's not too much danger. So really no choice but to try and draw under here. I think the only other thing you might consider doing here again is just throwing another center guard and saying, well, can you peel this? Hope for a miss or a nose hit. I think I wouldn't mind to see them try that at least once. Suber's on this one straight away. I think it's going to overcurl. Right, yeah, it's going sideways now. And, well, the good news is they roll over for a tight center guard. The bad news is Jack's going to take it out straight away. So he's coming at it from this side, and what that means is he may make a double peel, but he's probably going to stick around with his yellow shooter somewhere. There's still going to be some guards to work with. This not a lot of weight on this one for a peel, but it looks like it's going to do the job. Well, not even getting the red out of the rings there, but it's right off on the side, so they're not going to be concerned about that.
Yeah, the shooter rolled over, knocked the other red guard off to the side. The red guard, like you say, isn't out of the rings, but is back on the tee line and all the way on the edge.
Yeah, so there's still the same spot on the sheet that Bruce Black is going to try and get to. Only 2 stones left to get there. It's just not an ideal steal position, but it's the best he has.
Yeah, if he could get down and almost sit on the yellow rock in the back 8, it would be reasonably covered. I mean, it would still leave Stupera with most of the 8-foot to draw to for 1, but
yeah. But it's, you want to make him play, right? You want to make him work, work for it. So,
yeah.
Oh, he's just changed his mind about coming the other way.
Don't say anything mean. I mean, even if it is a better play, I just don't like you change the line when you've already made the shot call.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I guess he's thinking about using the backing there, but I still kind of prefer the other way, because even if you buried half of it, it's still a pretty good position. Tough to get at and easy to sort of jam. But it is making the draw this way. It looks like it needs to curl quite a lot. It's going to be like right in the pocket between the two. Oh, interesting. Got a nice roll there.
Yeah, after that, that is red is shot stone.
So decision time for Stupera. He's looking at running these guards, I think, which isn't a bad idea. It's red-yellow combination. Don't know, or maybe he's looking directly at the. Yeah, he's looking directly now at the shot stone. I think it definitely goes. If you nose it, it should go. I'd like to get slightly inside, I think, but. And even if it doesn't go all the way out, you'll be shot stone. But you're going to leave a shot for Bruce no matter what. He's going to have a chance to probably, if he knows it, he can freeze down to you. If you roll out, he's got an open draw. He's been pretty reliable so far this game, so commentators curse and everything, but he should be close with this. And Sweeper's working hard. Are they past the guard? Yes, they are. Really nice shot. That looked pretty close.
Yeah, they didn't move the red nearly as far as they moved the yellow that was behind it, though.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they finished the shot as the shot stone. So, mission accomplished as far as that goes. But like you were saying, Bruce not out of options at the moment. And if he can hit and roll under cover, it leaves just the draw, basically, for the single. So we're going to have a game come right down to the last couple of rocks, if not an extra, depending on this.
So this is an interesting decision. He's going for the hit. And I guess, like you say, he's probably going to try and roll underneath. My first thought was to go for the draw instead. So interesting he chose to do it this way. The reason I was thinking about the draw was that if you make the hit, and then say that yellow goes away, you don't have any backing left, right? You're going to be available to be hit out. Nice shot, though.
Hit, but no roll.
Yeah.
So now Jack is going to have to choose. Does he just try to take out that red? Actually, it doesn't matter. he has to be shot at the end of this to win, because if he takes out one of the reds and rolls out, then it's going to be one red, because that biter on the side now could become the deciding rock.
Absolutely. Well, he's going for the draw.
And I think that's probably fine. He's got the 4 foot and half of the 8 foot to count for the winning point here.
Yeah, I kind of like this. I think it's a confident call, right? It's, you know, I've got the full 4 and half of the 8 foot. I can make this draw. I kind of like to see that. But yeah, he's drawing against 2, so there's some pressure. He's got to make it.
Yeah, he's got to at least get to full 12 to outcount the farthest rock to at least force the tie.
Absolutely. Well, this final stone is underway. Sweepers are right on it. And this is curling. I don't know if it's got the weight. Sweeper's going really hard. I think he might get enough for second shot. I don't know if he's going to get in for shot. They're going really hard. Wow, and that really, oh my goodness. And that is going to be a steal. I think that is a steal of 2 for Bruce Black. And I'm surprised, I got to admit. He had such a solid game. Jack Stapera, he's going to be disappointed with that, but Bruce Black made him draw against 2 and managed to get the steal. So congratulations to Black. And disappointment for Stapera, definitely. I think we've all been there. A great game, though. A really nice close game. So we still have 2 other games going on Sheet A and Sheet C. We got some real battles going on.
Yeah, I'll move you wherever. They've taken the scores down on C.
Oh,
it looks like. So
that's unhelpful. I'm guessing it's tied.
Either that, or they basically did a sort of basic unofficial concession and are just going to play an end of stones just to use the ice they've paid for.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and I'll send the cameras over to A, though, since that's a game that we've got scores and drama going on in.
Yeah, I'm imagining that they're playing the 9th right now. I'm guessing because.
Oh, that could be. That would also be a reasonable explanation.
I would love to take credit for that, but someone said it in our chat window, so it's actually not my bright idea after all. But yeah, it looks like they're playing an extra. So I guess they took the score down because
because it doesn't matter. It's whoever wins the next point wins the game. Yeah.
So.
So want me to go cover that if it's in an extra or?
I'm not sure. We got 2 exciting games here.
Yeah, we've got Sheet A is in the 8th with the yellow team Cato up 2, and then we've got the game on C in an extra.
Let's take a look at A since we're already there. Looks like a pretty interesting situation.
Go ahead and convert our overhead over to Sheet A.
So the Triangle Club is leading by 2, I believe. We're in the 8th. Red throwing the Redstones is Datlow from Potomac. So he needs to manufacture a juice, stay in this game, take it to an extra. He's got 1 corner guard. It's pretty long, but it's there. Kind of needs the mistakes at the moment from Triangle in order to get things going.
We're getting the chat is demanding C, so I'll spin the cameras over. We can still obviously talk about both, but you'll see this swing in a moment. There it is.
All right.
Shift to the far end so you can see the rocks in play.
Right, so
that game.
Yeah, so we're in the extra.
So that game is Arnold from St. Paul throwing the Redstones, Johnson from Potomac and Chesapeake throwing the Yellowstones, Red sitting on the button for shot at the moment.
And this is the last rock for Yellow, so they've got to move it, get shot position. Tough shot. They're not touching it. It needs to curl. It needs to tap that off the button. It's close. No, did they move it? No.
Oh, I gotta switch the overheads again.
Oh, they're not shaking, so I'm guessing they did. So nice shot.
So there's your view of the overhead, and yes, the Yellowstone is on the button and covering the pin.
Yeah, great shot. And there are some guards out front, but I think you can see it. And so...
Yeah, I mean, I can see it from here, but I'm almost on the sideline. It's hard to tell what you can see from the hack, but it's got to be at least half exposed.
Yeah, so if you bang this right on the nose, you make the red and yellow both go away. Should win the game.
Overhead turn off. There it is. Okay.
Well, this needs to curl. It needs to curl a long way. I don't think it's going to do it. I think it's going to jam. Oh, yeah. That's tough. It wasn't a straightforward shot. Just didn't curl up for them, and it will be a steal in the extra end.
Oh, Julie is saying Chesapeake was red there. I must have messed that up at the beginning of the game, writing down which team was which. Whichever team was yellow was sitting on the pin there. So that is a clutch extra end victory for one team, and a little bit of a disappointing last rock loss for the other team.
Yeah, tough one there. I think the shot was there to be made, but tricky and just didn't curl up.
Yeah, and it took a really spectacular shot to even get the rock there.
Oh, absolutely.
That
yeah.
tap on the previous shot was well done.
Yeah, that was a pressure shot. So we only have one game remaining, which is that game on sheet 8. And they're down to skip rocks on sheet 8. So we'll just take you through the end of that. So here's Nick Datlow ready to throw his first stone. He's throwing red. He needs 2 to tie the game, and there are no reds in the house and 2 yellows. So tough situation. Looking probably for a hit and roll to the wing, I would guess. That would be the optimal shot. But has to stick around in the rings. Absolutely no choice. And then hope for a mistake. So here comes his stone.
This is a tradition. This is an absolute tradition.
Sweeper's not touching it. Needs to curl up because he has to stick around. Well, he bangs it on the nose. So he needs a mistake, really, from Triangle. They just need to make this go away. And that'll be the game. Easier said than done, of course. I imagine they've thrown down this line quite a lot, so you should have a good idea what it's going to do.
Yeah, I would hope that by the 8th end on Skips Rocks, you've figured out what the center line is like, but then again, it does change, so. Oops, I switched. No, I didn't. Where we go?
No, Sweeper's called on straight away. Maybe threw it a little tight, but now they're not worried. It looks like it's good.
It's definitely at least going to get contact, and that's really all they need here.
Nicely done, right on the nose. And Nick, I think, just throwing his stone for practice, but that's the game.
Yep.
So will be a win for Triangle there over Potomac. And that is all our games concluded for the straw, but we're going to be back very soon
Yep, we'll be back in what I think will be about 10 minutes for the 8 p.m. draw with some A event semifinals and some C event quarterfinals. And, of course, the return of the ever-popular Potomac Curling Club After Dark, 10:15 p.m. with the B event semifinals.
All right.